Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? It's great to be with you guys today. It's Sunday. Football, 49ers, Sunday, but not today. Tomorrow, the 49ers will be playing the Lions at home, which I'm excited about. I'm going to be at the game. Really excited about. And that's what I want to talk about today. This is going to be our preview episode. This is episode 1296. Good Lord. We've done a couple shows here. And I want to kind of detail, I understand that this game is quote-unquote non-meaningful for the playoffs or whatever. I don't care. The 49ers get to play football, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the matchups. The Lions are a damn good team, and it's crazy how many similarities there are to this Lions team and the 49ers of old. And I say old, but like you go back to the 2019 49ers, the 2022, 2023, very similar, very physical team built through the trenches, and they have an identity. They understand their identity. They're the new kids on the block and all that stuff. It's kind of, there's a lot of parallels there, but man, I want to destroy them. I want to win this damn game. I want to win it so bad. Not that I dislike the Lions, but I'm starting to. I'm tired of everybody saying nice things about them and all that stuff. And yeah, they're good, but man, I want this game. I want this game bad. Appreciate everybody showing up live. All the hashtag CCs, the countdown crew showing up. Appreciate everybody. What's up, Monkey Boy? We got Jason in the house. What's up, man? You guys are awesome. What's up, Darren? Ooh, look at this. Hey, Zeus, he's putting out the Lions 35, Niners 20. What's crazy is it's like a 4-point spread. 4-point spread. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't understand that either. I don't think it's going to be that close. Niners can win this game, though. They really can. Kevin says, man, we get a top 12 pick. Yeah, it's right there. Currently, the 49ers are picking 11th. I think 10 is as high as they could get no matter what happens. But, I want that top 10 pick. James, hashtag CC, hashtag breakfast, hashtag waffles. Any day you have waffles is a great day. Any day. Big waffle guy. What's up, JP? Appreciate you guys. You are awesome, hey, Lori. Not excited, but I'm here. And that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to detail kind of how the Lions got to where they are, how we got to where we are, still go over some matchups and some things I want to see. And yeah, right here, Tommy, why so early? Got to go early before the games kick off, man. It's weird week whenever the Niners play on Monday because you get the extra day and you always want to wait till the injury reports. And yesterday was a weird day to finish. And like, it was hard when the injury report finally came out because it was like, man, there's all these games on. There's NFL, there's college, all that stuff. And shout out to Brock Purdy. It's his birthday. He had his birthday just a couple days ago. Iowa State just beat Miami in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. I don't know what's the most absurd thing that I just said, either Iowa State beating Miami or that there is a Pop-Tarts Bowl. But, yeah, it's what it is. What's up, man? Rusty, the man. He says, JC, looking for some hot cocoa spiked with JD Fire after the game. Rusty, you are always cut up with weird concoctions of alcohol, and I love them all. I love them all. What's up, Sid? Hey, Tommy. Appreciate you guys. Lions may be more talented in 2023. I think that is a fair statement, and they're the most injured team in the NFL. I know that's weird to say, but yeah, it's weird. The most injured team as far as most players on injured reserve, the Lions have the most salary cap on the injured reserve. The Lions have the most, yet they have 7 more wins than we do. Yes, I understand. We have significant injuries on both sides of the ball and have throughout the entire season. But the fact that the Lions are kind of, again, one of the best teams in the NFL, despite being the most injured team, some teams can overcome. It's not really who the 49ers are. But it is a rematch of last year's NFC Championship game. And we sent them home last year. And we could throw some more kind of wrenches in their recipe for success this year by beating them this week. That game will matter because they play the last week of the season. Probably the game of week 18 is Vikings versus Lions, and that's going to be for the 1 seed. More than likely going to be for the 1 seed. So depending on what happens today, I mean, it's almost, again, talking about the parallels to 2019 49ers. You remember it's 5 years ago to this day, 49ers versus Seahawks, last game of the season. Dre Greenlaw stopped at the inch line, and if we lost that game, we would have been the 5th seed. But if you won that game, you're the 1 seed, you get a bye. Oh, it might have been the 2 seed that year, to be correct. But whatever, that's the exact same situation the Lions are in now. So, man, let's spoil it for them. Let's ruin what it is that they want and what they want to get done. They're looking to win 14 games for the first time in franchise history. That's incredible. Top 3 offensive line. Goff is great whenever he gets protection. He's one of the worst quarterbacks against pressure. So how do you counteract that? You understand your player's weakness, and you make sure to protect against that. So you put one of the best offensive lines ahead of him and a great run game. Boom, you took away his weakness. What is Brock Purdy's weakness? Probably bad weather. What do you do in rain games? You throw the ball 41 and 35 times. It's like, understand what your team is built on, what the weaknesses are, what the strengths are. Try to mitigate the weaknesses and try to exemplify the strengths. It's a philosophy. That is a way to win right here, Kevin. Yeah, Lions have a philosophy, built their team on that philosophy, call the game according to that philosophy, harmonious football. 49ers are exactly opposite of that currently. No doubt about it. We're not a man defense. All we do is cover one man on almost every single third down. Yeah, shocker. We suck at it. We're not a passing football team, have not been a passing football team. We don't draft passing offensive linemen. We don't even draft wide receivers that can run routes and catch the ball properly. We draft physical guys that can help in the run game and work off of play action, but we don't do those things, at least this year. We have in the past. I hope we get back to Debster. Wet balls is Brock's weakness. Yeah, that is true. Pause. I wish Wayne was here for that one. Ben Johnson, definitely probably the best offensive coordinator in football currently. Scrappy team. They're tough, and they do not take excuses, and they do not blame injuries. We have blamed injuries several times. Our coaching staff has, our players have. Everybody except for probably Fred Warner. Everybody else has complained about injuries. That literally Kyle has, John Lynch has, obviously Nick Sorensen has, lots of players have. I don't like that. I really, really don't like that. I don't think injuries are the reason the 49ers are not in the playoffs. I think the 49ers are a bad team, and I don't think that they are. I think it can be fixed, but the way you called games, and whenever you're the worst team in the fourth quarter, bad things are going to happen. That's not because of injuries. It's not. Whenever you don't know your identity and you refuse to run the football, you're going to lose a lot of games. Whenever you're negative in the turnover ratio for 8 consecutive weeks, you're going to lose a lot of games. And I don't think that has to do with injuries. We have one of the worst offensive lines in football, but we want to throw the ball 40 times a game. And guess what? Our offensive line, the weird thing is, probably not going to get better, but I don't think it actually got worse. Yeah, we've got a ridiculous amount of guys out. Let's jump to the injury report, and it's bad. It's really bad. So these are the players that are out for the 49ers. Aaron Banks, Spencer Burford, Dre Greenlaw, Robert Beal. Those are the officially out, not moved to IR yet. I don't think any of these players will be moved to IR, by the way. Questionable: Tatum Bethune, Jair Brown, Colton McKivitz, and Charvarius Ward. Congrats, Charvarius Ward. Apparently, they're expecting another baby, and I think that is awesome. Best wishes and prayers out to the Ward family. But like, you look at the guys that are missing on the offensive line, you basically have Pooney and 4 replacement player offensive linemen. So outside of Trent Williams, who hasn't played a lot this year, it's basically what you got. I mean, yeah, Jake Brindle's going to play it. If Jake Brindle's anything, it's consistent and he can play. He's tough as hell. He doesn't get injured. He's an Iron Man. He's out there all the time, but he sucks. Like, beyond replacement player. I think he is the 35th out of 35 centers in the NFL currently from PFF. There's only 32 teams. That means 3 backups have played better than him. He leads the team in penalties. He leads all offensive linemen center in penalties. He's terrible. He's terrible. So you've got Dominique Pooney and then just 4 guys. That's really all you got. And I don't think it's much of a downgrade outside of Trent Williams. Aaron Banks has been god-awful for 2 consecutive years. Colton McKivitz, pretty good in the run game, but terrible in the passing game. So, like, he's questionable. I hope he goes. But, again, it doesn't really matter because you're not doing what helps them. You're not running the football. The 49ers are 15th in the NFL currently on the season in rushing attempts. We don't run the ball. We're not even a top 10 run game. We were second last year. We just don't run the ball. And you look at all the close games we've had, I think it's 9. Each one of those 9 games, we were outrushed. More rushing attempts by the opposing team. If it's a close game, we do not run the ball. Now, the Lions, obviously, most people on IR in the NFL. As far as players not on IR that are going to be out, Khalif Raymond, their wide receiver, and their number 1 running back, David Montgomery, is out. Now, some people will say, well, Gibbs should be the number 1. David Montgomery is the guy that starts every single game. He's the guy that gets more carries. Yes, they do have a 2-headed beast, and I wish the 49ers would do that with Mason and CMC, but David Montgomery is out. Questionable. Their linebacker, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, but they have 19 players on IR currently. The 49ers have 14. 14. They have 5 more players. Now, the quality of those players, I understand. Yes, the injuries throughout the season, I understand. But, hey, yeah, it's rough. It's rough out there. Right here, Bobo. Kyle Shanahan said, once again, Nick Sorensen's doing a great job. Yeah, I watched that clip. I watched the presser, and I was just like, ugh. I don't think he watches the tape. Now, every single, just loaded, the entire Dolphins game is on the 49ersrush.com and our Patreon page. It's terrible defensive coordinator. The entire job, the entire game. I mean, I counted 5 free third downs that Nick Sorensen gave up. Had nothing to do with any player on the field. 5 free third downs. No, it might have been 4 third downs, 1 fourth down. I think that might be right. But whatever. Like, just Mike McDaniel taking Nick Sorensen to the woodshed in the second half was just comical. But we've seen it all year, every single game. Every single game. Giving up 10 points, a little below 10 points per game in the fourth quarter. It's not good. You're the worst in the NFL. We're best in the NFL last year, and I understand the injuries, but even whenever we have everybody playing, we still give up all those plays in the fourth quarter. Still. We don't have a lot of injuries on defense right now. Yeah, Dre Greenlaw's out. That's pretty much it. Javon Hargrave hasn't been good. He had 1 good game this year. 1 good game this year. That's it. He had 1 good game in the final 8 games of last year. And so, like, when people go to the Hargrave thing, like, well, you got Hargrave out. No. The defense got better when Hargrave went out. The worst games this season were when Hargrave played. He was terrible. He was awful. Couldn't stop the run, not getting much pressure at all. He had 1 good game this year, and that was just against the pass. And so I understand people get mad whenever how do I say this? I'm a Niners fan, okay? I'm not an insider. I am not a beat reporter. I'm just a fan that loves the Niners. I'm decked out in Niners gear, man. Niners hat, Niners everything. Like, nobody pays me from the organization. I'm not that. I got credentials. I don't want credentials. I don't want to do that. I want to be in the stands with my man Rusty, drinking spiked whatever the hell he's going to make for tomorrow. That's what I want to do with my life. So I'm doing that. I'm critical of the team whenever I see it on film. And I'm not the other times. So I'm not here to try to say, like, I don't know, man. It's people get mad whenever they say, well, we suck because of the injuries, because they don't want to buy into we're not a good football team. And I understand that. That's hard. I can tell you as a coach, we're a bad football team. The 49ers, and I say we because I spent all my money and my career and my time and whatever, building opportunities for fans to get together. Yeah, I say we. If you don't like that, I'm sorry. I say we. I consider us a part of the team. I really, really do. Do we play? No, we don't. But we are the 49ers. We are the faithful. They got that on their stadium for a reason. We're a bad football team this year. Things have to be fixed. You have, I think, the worst special teams coordinator and the worst defensive coordinator in the NFL. I believe that to be true. I do believe we have the worst. And so whenever you have 2 out of 3 phases of your game that are poorly coached, poorly equipped, never prepared, constantly put in situations that do not help the personnel that you have drafted and built, I think we're a bad team. Now, offensively, obviously, I'm a Shanahan fan, but that doesn't mean he's always perfect. And I know there's a lot of Shanahan criticism. The NFL.com put out, across the NFL, put out today, coaches on the hot seat. And I think they listed like 10 or 12. Shanahan wasn't on there, and he shouldn't be. He should not be. Does that mean Shanahan's done a good job this year? That's not what it means. That's not what I'm saying. Shanahan has done a bad job. Literally not pairing his team with how they're built and playing with the run game and helping your offensive lineman or neglecting your offense. Yeah, Kyle deserves criticism, but we're not bad because of injuries. If you're the type of team that can only be good when everybody's healthy and you have no adversity, you're not a good football team. But if it rains or you're missing a starter, everybody's like, well, we can't do it because Bosa's out. Well, we can't do it because Kittle's out. Well, CMC hasn't been great. Well, no. Lions have 19 players on injured reserve. 19 players. They're playing for the 1 seed. I understand they're different, but is that 7 games different? Is that 7 wins and losses different? I don't think so. I don't think that it is. But I think that we are a talented team, but I think that we have been a bad team. Look at Kevin. People confuse being a talented team with being a good team. We are talented this year, but we are not a good team. And I would argue we have not been a good team. We have not beaten a good team. We haven't beaten one good team this year. Not one. We beat the Jets, not good. We beat the Patriots, not good. We beat Seattle. Seattle's not good. We beat Dallas, not good. We beat Tampa. That's probably the best team, and we tried to give that one away. I never sweated so much in my life. I'm from Texas, and we beat the Bears. Not a good football team. When we play good teams, we got beat. Minnesota, good team. Beat us with ease. We played Kansas City. Yeah, beat us by 10. We played Green Bay, beat us by 28. We played Buffalo, beat us by 25. Those are the only good teams we played. We weren't really close in any of them. The 49ers are not a good football team this year. They're not coached well. They have not performed well, and the injuries definitely have made it worse. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's not a good football team. Now, the Lions, guess what? All the injuries, more injuries than us, maybe not as significant. They are second in offense, according to PFF. They are sixth in defense, according to PFF. Fourth in special teams, first overall. 49ers in those same categories, fourth in offense, 13th defense, 12th special teams, 7th overall. PFF, they beat us in every single category, every single one. Dan Campbell, who, man, he's hilarious. There's no doubt about it, and he's unique and passionate, and I think he's very authentic, and I respect the hell out of that. He's got a 44-36-1 record, so he's got 8 more wins than losses currently. His third-round pick back in 1999. He was pick number 79 overall. That is the same round we took Purdue defensive end Chike Okorafor. Y'all remember him? Out of Purdue. The same draft as Ricky Williams, Edgerrin James, Champ Bailey. He's part of that kind of group. He's not in line with those players, I understand. Played tight end, won a Super Bowl with the Saints. Gritty coach, man. And he's kind of coached his way up. He was with the Giants for 4 years. He was with Dallas and Aaron Glenn as a player. He was in Detroit. He played there. He played at the Saints. Then as a coach, he started with the Dolphins back under Tony Sparano. Yeah, y'all remember him back in 2010. Worked his way up. Intern to tight ends coach to interim head coach. Then he became an assistant head coach and tight ends coach with the Saints under Sean Payton. Now he's been with the Lions since 2021. Ben Johnson, the hot OC, probably going to be the hottest head coaching candidate. I think he goes to the Bears. As a coach, he started as a GA at Boston College, the Eagles, then a tight ends coach for him. Then he went to Miami as a tight ends coach under He was there the exact same time as Campbell. That's where that overlap happens. He worked his way up. Tight ends coach Miami, assistant quarterback coach Miami, then tight ends coach Miami, then assistant wide receiver coach Miami, then wide receiver coach Miami, to offensive quality control coach with the Lions, then tight ends coach with the Lions, to passing game coordinator to OC. Dude's worked his way up. He's earned it. Now, Aaron Glenn, their defensive coordinator, who I think's he's a hell of a coach, man. I thought last year was terrible. Their defense still is bad. They still don't have a good defense, but they have overcome a lot of injuries. They play a lot of man, and they're very aggressive. They have an identity, and they stick to it. They really, really do. He was a first-round draft pick, Aaron Glenn, their defensive coordinator, back in 1994. That was a good year for us. Yeah, it's what it was. He was drafted the same year as Larry Allen, Marshall Faulk, Bryant Young. Bryant Young went 5 picks before Aaron Glenn, and obviously Niners did great back then. It was a cornerback, Pro Bowler multiple years, out of Texas A&M, so I don't like him. And, you look at what he did. He started off as administration. He was the Houston Stallions general manager. Then he was a scout for the Jets for a couple years, then became a coach. His first coaching job was with the Browns back in 2014. Guess who the offensive coordinator was that year? That's right, Kyle Shanahan. So they were on the same staff for just one quick year with the Browns. Then he started the defensive backs coach for the Saints for 5 years. Him and Campbell had overlap there, and then he joined Campbell with the Lions staff. So yeah, it's a fun coaching staff, and I think Ben Johnson's probably gone this year. Aaron Glenn will be on the short list. Again, talk about the just kind of parallels between the Niners. They're about to get their coaches poached, just like the 49ers have had happen. We'll see how they maintain things. And as much as I like Campbell and his tough grittiness and personality, what's going to happen when Ben Johnson's not there? Who's the next guy? And, for Shanahan, whenever his guys get replaced, Shanahan still is the offense. Campbell doesn't call the offense. Campbell is just the head coach, kind of CEO type guy. That's what he brings. So it's going to be curious, but their year's still going on. And I know that they're still trying their hardest to, just get to the Super Bowl. They've never even been to the Super Bowl. We'll see. Now, real quick, the best way to support the show, we're live all off season. We're working on the draft report and all that stuff. We got draft breakdown tape up already. The best way to support us right here. I am so excited to announce our new platform launched, the49ersrush.com. We've been active on Patreon for years, and we're still going to keep that community going, but the 49ersrush.com has everything Patreon offers and a bunch more. You want to watch player breakdowns? Guess what? You click that. It's filtered based on players. You want to see Javon Hargrave, what he brings, some CMC tape broken down, Ayuk, Jair Brown. We've got hundreds and hundreds of tapes on. Now, you want football 101. You want to learn scheme. Guess what? We've got every single offensive, defensive, special team snap. Head over to the 49ersrush.com, sign up, join the community, and plus we got a 7-day free trial. So, all right, here we go. The history of this matchup, 49ers have not, I think, dominated. 49ers have won 40, Lions have won 28, and there's been one tie. So you got a 12-game advantage. Obviously, the last matchup, NFC Championship, ended their season. My personal favorite game I have ever witnessed in the NFL in person. I went to the Super Bowl. That was awesome, but we lost. The best game I've ever been to in the NFL. Definitely January 28, 2024, the NFC Championship. We won 34-31. God, it was awesome. We were down 17 and came back and won. Ayuk had that fun catch. It was unbelievable. Purdy was great. 20 of 31. He had 267 yards, 1 touchdown interception, only an 89 passer rating. But CMC, 20 rush attempts, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brock Purdy, 5 rush attempts, 48 yards. Debo, 8 catches, 89 yards. Ayuk, 3 catches, 68, and a touchdown. I mean, Nick Bosa, 2 sacks. When was the last time we've been able to say that? Been a long time. So Niners can win this game. They're probably not going to. You have to commit to the run. You have to play action. You got to screen. And you got to be not stupid on defense and special teams. We haven't done that. That's not a staple of the 49ers. Being smart, playing smart football, calling smart football. Not who we are. All three phases, I'm going to be honest. Now, the Lions defense, it's not great. Yeah, they're missing a lot. I think they had 17 starters out, or players that had started a game on defense. 17 different guys have been out at different times. They missed a lot. Now, you get no sympathy from 49ers fans. We're missing a lot too, but not on defense anymore. We're actually not, but they are. They're 7th in points allowed, the Lions defense, 18th in yards allowed, 9th in turnovers. That's probably one of the biggest difference. 49ers turn the ball over a lot. We're 22nd, our offense, in giving the ball away, which is not good. We have lost the turnover battle, I think, 8 consecutive games in a row. Big reason why we're not a good football team. We're not causing turnovers, and we're giving turnovers away. A lot of that's whenever you pass 40 plus times in the rain or the snow and you have a small quarterback that can't control the ball, you're asking for it, but that's where we are. The Lions defense, 14th and first downs allowed. That's average. 2nd in pass touchdowns. They play a lot of man coverage all up and down the field. We haven't played a lot of teams like that. We don't have man coverage beaters. Ricky Pearsall's our man coverage beater. Brock Purdy, don't trust him. Should be a Pearsall game, but I sure as hell ain't putting money on that. But Lions play man coverage all up and down the field. So whenever you get into the red zone, man, they're used to playing man coverage. It's not different for them. We only play man coverage, the 49ers, on third downs, and we're the worst at it. We are the worst at it. Let's see here. 4th in rushing yards allowed. They don't let teams run the ball. They blitz a lot. They gap blitz a lot. They have quality linebackers. They are 1st in third down percentage, best in the NFL. 17 starters out. 17. 1st in the NFL. Injuries are not an excuse for this defense. 2nd in 4th downs. 6th in the red zone. When the game matters, Lions answer the call. They're the exact opposite of the 49ers. Still injured, but they do not let that stop them. They run man early and often, and they blitz early and they blitz often. But they draft guys that are man coverage guys. We do not do that. We don't do that. Yeah, they've got a lot of good players. Now, I will say this. You look at their defense, and I think, Brian Branch, freaking stud. He's that kind of, he's a hyper demo role. He plays slot. He'll play safety. He'll play backer. He'll play outside corner. He'll play everywhere. He's damn good. Might be one of the better players in the NFL. Jack Campbell's good. Their linebacker they drafted the first round. Kirby Joseph might be the best safety in the NFL this year, to be honest with you. Probably won't get the all-pro, whatever. But Kirby Joseph has been lights out as that free safety role. They have guys that kind of fit. They really, really do. Now, they're injured everywhere. Their defensive line, they're on like their third-string defensive lineman everywhere. Not just a defensive tackle, not just at end. They're just, they're rough. But it works because they blitz and they allow their secondary to be the strength of their team. They have an identity and they stick to it. Wish we did that. God, I wish we did that. Yeah, it's what it is. Now, if we look at the Lions offense, completely different story. It's best of the best of the best. 1st in points, 2nd in yards, 4th in turnovers. They don't turn the ball over, and they move the ball up and down the field nonstop. 1st in first downs, 2nd in pass yards, 3rd in pass touchdowns, 3rd in pass yards per attempt, 5th in rush attempts, 6th in rush yards, 3rd in rush touchdowns, 5th on 3rd down, 6th on 4th downs, 4th in red zone. They don't have one bad metric. And they haven't had a lot of injuries there. They really, really haven't. Their offensive line has been relatively healthy. Yeah, David Montgomery's out. But, I mean, their offensive players are pretty much, they've been intact this whole season. And they have run the ball consistently, and they protect the quarterback whenever he throws it. They understand what they're going to do. And it's pretty fun to see. It's pretty fun to see. Their rush attempts may go down without Monty. I doubt it. I think they'll run the ball anyway. Who is their other running back? I want to look this up. I'm not sure because obviously Gibbs is their number 2, but you look at their running backs. The next guy, whenever it comes to snaps, man, yeah, they don't really have a lot of guys that have got. Craig Reynolds will be the guy. Sione Vaki, who's a really fun guy. I think Utah, yeah. He was a safety / running back / linebacker type guy. And so, yeah, I think we could see him. He's tough as hell. So if they're trying to pound the rock, which I would do against us because we're a soft defense, we have a lot of soft players on defense. I would physical. I'd out physical us is what I would do. So we'll see here. So yeah, it might go down their rush attempts, but man, if I was them, I'd run the ball. That's what I would do. Amon St. Brown, dude's awesome, getting paid way less than Ayuk, way better than Ayuk, has been better than Ayuk. That's kind of the contract that screwed up the Ayuk deal and made him think he's worth more. I don't know why. Amon Ra has more catches, more yards, more touchdowns in fewer years. That dude's unbelievable. Now he's a slot guy. He's not your true X, but he just knows his role and does his job. He's awesome. Gibbs, pure speed. He started in front of Jordan Mason at Georgia Tech. And a big reason why we were able to get Jordan Mason as an undrafted free agent is because he wasn't a starter. Because Gibbs was so freaking good before he transferred to Bama. You got Jamison Williams, who he killed us in the NFC Championship. Not a true wide receiver, but just a streaker, man. That dude, vertical threat. He's head case, makes so many mental errors, can't run the full route tree, all that stuff, but he is a playmaker. And their offensive line. That's what scares me the most. Teams with a good offensive line are almost always good in the NFL. We have one of the worst offensive lines. I would argue, I think we're going to field the worst offensive line in the NFL this week. Dead last. I would take all 31 other teams' offensive line over ours. You got Dominique Pooney and 4 replacement guys. And I'm going to be really honest with you. If everybody was healthy on our team, I think you have Trent Williams and Dominique Pooney and then a bunch of replacement players. Now, one of the things I'm excited about is seeing guys like Nick Zakelj get snaps. I'm excited about that. I want to see how that's going to go. I really, really do. I wish Hidesi would get snaps over Brindle because we know Brindle can't be the option moving forward, but he's only been with the team for a week. Center position's hard. He's been in a scheme kind of like ours, but gosh, I wish we could make that transition. Now, what are the Lions' offensive weaknesses? Really, you got to get pressure on the quarterback. When Jared Goff has pressure, he's not good. Has never been good. The problem is they understand that and they protect him from that. That is the big difference. And that's why it's so hard to kind of stop this offense because teams can't get pressure on them. Can't do it. And not when they effectively run the ball, which they commit to, and not when they effectively pass protect, which they committed to in the draft. They've got studs everywhere. They've got studs everywhere. Look at Thomas. What's up, Thomas? He says, I'll go further. This will be the biggest disaster offensive line-wise we've had the last 5 years, and I don't even think it's that bad than what we've been putting out there. Yeah, I'd take Jalen Moore over any of the tackles we're going to play, but I'd take Nick Zakelj over Aaron Banks. I think that's an upgrade. I do. Right tackle, Colton McKivitz might play, but let's be real. He hasn't been the guy. He hasn't been the guy. Favorite matchups this game. There's a lot of good ones. Let's go to when the 49ers are on offense. My favorite matchup for the 49ers is our wide receivers versus their corners. I know that they go man, but, Terrion Arnold, their first-round pick, not the healthiest guy. He's banged up. He's got a lot of penalties. And I want to see Juwan Jennings go up against him. I think that's a good matchup. I really, really do. Their safeties are great. Corners are not. And they've got a lot of injuries at the cornerback position. And they'll stay in man. They do not care. But their safeties kind of erase a lot. So they'll do some cover 2 man. They'll do some single high man. They'll do that. Their safeties kind of help out their corners a lot. We're the exact opposite. Our safeties kill our corners. But we don't have a cover 1 safety. We've never drafted a cover 1 safety. Our defensive coordinators on record this week saying, well, we have to have safeties that can play both in the box and free safety. But then we call cover 1, and we don't have a cover 1 safety on our roster. We don't have one, but it's all we do. We'll put Funga back there, not what he does. We'll put Jair back there, not what he does. We'll put Malik back there. Not what he does. Again, just I'm here talking about our best matchups and immediately go to how bad our defensive coordinator is. That dude would be fired from a high school team that I was on. I'm telling you right now. Like, I know he knows more football than I do, but I wish he would show it because it's just asinine what Nick Sorensen continues to do week in and week out. It's so stupid. It is stupid. Anyway, all right. Their best matchup when the 49ers are on offense. It probably are running backs versus their linebackers and safeties. Their linebackers are studs. Their safeties are studs. I do think Isaac Grando is a full go. I don't think he's on the injury report. That's huge for us. But will we commit to the run? No. How are we going to do in the pass game and picking up blitzes? Scares the death out of me. We're not consistent there at all. So I think that's their best advantage with the 49ers on offense, their linebackers and safeties versus our backs. And then the blue chip matchup of the game probably is George Kittle versus Kirby Joseph. I want to see that. Brian Branch. I think Kittle versus those two guys, Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, that's awesome. That's the best of their defense versus the best of our offense. That's going to be all pro versus all pro. I really think so. Now flip it. This is where it gets bad. Where is the 49ers advantage when the 49ers are on defense? I don't have one. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, you know, and I could give Sorensen all the crap I want. I mean, he sucks. But, like, we do not have one advantage against them. Not one. Our corners are not better than their wide receivers. Our defensive line is nowhere near their offensive line, and that includes Bosa. Bosa is not better than Penei Sewell. He's not this year. He hasn't been. Bosa's not better than Decker, their left tackle. Like, he's not. Not this year. He hasn't been. You want to talk Fred Warner? He's not better than Jahmyr Gibbs this year. He hasn't been. At first 4 weeks he was. Jahmyr Gibbs is killing it. Safeties? Yeah, don't even get me started. I love Huff, but are we going to put him in a position that he could, be successful against Sam Laporta? I don't like that. Malik, yeah, he looked back to his old ways with all the missed tackles he had last week. Like, where's our advantage? There is not one. 11 versus 11, they got every single matchup. And that includes Nick Bosa. It includes it. We do not have one advantage against their offense. That's kind of where we're at. Keep in mind, we have the second highest paid defense in the NFL. We don't have one advantage. Every single player, except for maybe Diamador Lenore, has gotten worse under Nick Sorensen. Every single one. Every defensive lineman, every linebacker, every safety, every corner. The only player that has gotten better is Diamador Lenore. That's it. That's it. Best blue chip matchup. It's got to be involving. There's a couple good ones. Diamador Lenore versus Amon-Ra St. Brown. Nick Bosa versus Penei Sewell. Warner versus Gibbs. All those are just like awesome. I don't give us the advantage in any of them. I don't. Yeah, I am excited to see D. Winters. Shout out to D. Winters. He was the number 1 rated player in special teams last week, made plays all over the field. Number 1 rated player on our defense last week, made plays all over the field. And this, again, goes back to why did we have Devondre Campbell take the whole season when we had D. Winters just sitting there, young, promising, hyper athleticism, instincts, character, everything's off the charts. We just sat him on the sidelines. Why? Because of Devondre Campbell and the great character and all the wonderful plays he has brought us this year. Nick Sorensen sucks, man. And even Kyle Shanahan backed him several times. Man, yeah, right here, Tommy. Ben Johnson will make Sorensen look like me calling the defense out there. Tommy, I'd take you, man. You watch this show. I'll take you over that. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? It's not a good football team. We're not a well-coached football team. Now, I hope that changes. There are some players that I'm excited to see play. I want to talk about that here in a second. But the 12 days of Christmas continue over at MyBookie. They got a risk-free bet today. You can't lose. While other books make promises, MyBookie delivers. This holiday season, the deck is in your favor with MyBookie's 12 Days of Christmas. Festive lineup and can't miss opportunities for bettors to cash in. Risk-free Thursdays. NFL bets that you could bet, and if you don't hit, guess what? You don't lose any money. Super Boost and free bets are out there as well. Weekly casino giveaways. It only costs 50 cents to spend on bet soft slots to enter. I'm telling you, at MyBookie, it's not just about taking your bets. It's about giving you the tools to elevate your game with the road to New Orleans, bowl games, Christmas Day sports betting, NFL action, NBA doubleheaders. It's your season to win. And with the 12 Days of Christmas, which starts on December 19th, so don't wait, lock it in today. Use promo code 49ERS, 49ers, with your first deposit. MyBookie will give you a little extra to start your holiday hot. There's a reason MyBookie has been the go-to bettor and the betting sportsbook of the 49ers Rush podcast for 10 years. 10 years, guys, they have been doing this. Whether it's UFC, NFL, college ball, basketball, you name it. Now, rollovers do apply, and if you have questions, make sure to ask their customer service. They are A++. But whatever you bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. All right, now, there's a lot of players that I'm excited to see play. Nick Zakel's at the top of that list. I want to see if he could played way better than Aaron Banks in the time he came in last week. And now we get to see him a whole week to prepare, all that stuff. I'm excited to see that. I really, really am. Want to see Isaac Guerrero get more snaps. Can he become consistent and stop all the errors? Can the vision improve? Can the pass protection improve? Can the routes improve? Dude's struggling running screens right now, I'm going to be honest. But the upside continues to be there for Guerrero. Can he stay healthy? Dude missed 24 games in college because of injuries that he's already had both those injuries in the short time he's been with us. I want to see that. I want to see Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall said the reason why he was drafted, Shanahan said, was to beat man coverage. Well, guess what, buddy? You get a lot of man coverage Monday night. We're going to see it. We're going to see it. So, man, get that dude out there. Like, you know what you have in Juwan Jennings. You know what you have in Debo. This should be, Ricky Pearsall should be out there 2 wide receiver sets this week. We're not going to the playoffs. Get the youngsters out there. Let's see what they got. Jacob Cowing should be out there at least getting 20 snaps and maybe a target. Dude's had 1 target in, I think, 12 weeks since that 50-yard reception. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Defensively, I want to see Mustafa make some gains. Last week was a really bad game for Malik, and he shined. Missed tackles are an issue, all that stuff. I want to see him next to Hufanga be successful. That's what I want to see. D. Winters, gosh, 53. I love Dre Greenlaw more than anybody. I believe that. But if I'm Winters' agent, I'm saying, look, dude, you can win this job this week and next week. You play the way you played against Miami. You could be the starting will backer for the 49ers in 2 linebacker sets next year. That dude's fighting for a spot. Sam O continues to do what he's supposed to do. Evan Anderson, terrible game last week. Awful game last week. Can he kind of rebound and perform like he has all year? Last year, worst game that guy's ever played. Was it just a hiccup? Undrafted free agent rookie. I get it. But, like, come on, man. Let's see something. Against a great offensive line, I want to see that. I want to see that. I want to see that. So there's a lot of guys I want to see go out there and play. Now, predictions. We always do predictions. I've kind of stopped doing that this year just because there's 2 things that I know for sure, right? I started whenever we're doing these notes, and shout out to Josh, executive producer of today's show. He's the best of the best. I was like, okay, what are the things we know 100% are going to happen with the 49ers? Forget what team we're playing. What do we know for sure? Number 1, we know the defense is going to give up 9+ points in the 4th quarter. We've done it all year. Injured, healthy, doesn't matter. Blowouts, close games, doesn't matter. You're giving up 9 points plus in the 4th quarter every freaking game. We know that for certainty. Doesn't matter the game script, game situation, road, weather, doesn't matter. Backup quarterbacks, doesn't matter. We also know that Kyle Shanahan will not commit to the running game with these running backs. Isaac Grindo, I expect to go. Anytime Isaac Grindo or Patrick Taylor, he will not commit to the running game. He will not do it. I would say the over-under in rush attempts is going to be 17.5 this game. It's not a recipe to win the game. So if you're not going to run the ball, you're not going to commit to run the ball, you're going to throw the ball like crazy against a terrible offensive line. I would argue the worst offensive line in the NFL this week. Sadly, not much worse than what we're used to. I don't think that it's going to go well. I want the Niners to win, and I thought the Niners would win. You go back about 6 weeks ago, and everybody's like, oh, we're going to lose the Lions. I was like, dude, that's a winnable game for us. Now, not so much. Not so much. And I'm excited to see. All right, let me choose my words very carefully. Again, I watch every single play 3 times on the coach's tape. A lot of players are making business decisions already on this Niners team. A lot of them. A lot of loved 49ers. I ain't calling out names. You want to go watch the tape? Go watch the tape. It's very evident. Game's out of control. Refusing to make tackles. Backpedaling to get out of tackles. Running themselves out of lanes so that they don't even have to try to make a tackle. Offensive lineman quitting. It's on the tape. It's on the tape. Don't lie. That ain't me. That's the tape. I ain't calling out names. I ain't doing that. A lot of those guys out. Now we're going to see. And I hope that y'all, let's just say the 49ers lose this game by a lot. Watch at the end of the game who still wants to be here. That's what I would be doing as a coach. And I'd be having a meeting with my coaching staff. And I'd be having meetings with my players. Who wants to be here? Who's a 49er? Who's a 49er? Yeah, we're not playing for the playoffs. We ain't making the Super Bowl this year. We ain't going to do it. But you got that damn name on the front of your jersey. You show the hell up. And if you are out there playing in the NFL and you get a snap, if you're lucky enough to play one snap out there in the fourth quarter, I don't care if we're up 14, down 14, you better play your ass off till the whistle blows. And I will pull your sorry rear end if you're out there and you make a business decision because this game don't matter. There are people whose dreams could be achieved that don't get to play because you're out there, Devondre Campbell, and a lot of other players that the 49ers love, that 49ers fans love. I want to know who wants to be here. And what happens next year starts now. It starts now. It starts freaking now. Oh, man. Yeah, right there. I want to see who has the heart. Bobo says, I'm a Niner, John. I know. Bobo's like one of the most passionate people. When passion comes across YouTube comments, you know. Debster, 1,000%. She says, one person definitely wants to be here regardless of that, and that's Kittle. Yes. Get me pumped up a little bit there, right? I'm ready to go. Right here, Monkey Boy. Have Debo choke those who are slacking on film. Debo played hard last week. You don't play hard all the time. But anyway, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I don't want to put negativity out there. There's enough out there. Anyway, you guys are the best. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's show. I know it's a preview show. We'll be live from the stadium at Levi's right after the game. I have no clue how many hot toddies or whatever I will have at that point. Might be a drunken Chapman stupor, but we'll see. We'll be there. We'll do a live show at the stadium right afterwards. And then we got a short week. Arizona next week, we're going to be there. So NFL's doing a terrible job. Less than 6 days notice. The entire game slate next week still hasn't been announced, which is ridiculous. Don't know if it's going to be a Saturday game, Sunday game. Don't matter. We're going to be there. We're going to have a party the day before at Tacos and Tequila, and we're going to be having a tailgate the day of. I can't really put out all the information on that because NFL won't announce the schedule, but we will be there in Arizona. Strong, faithful, no matter what. So if you're going to be close, man, come out. Arizona is such a fun game to go to. It's going to be a blast. So you guys are awesome. Love you guys. And until next time, stay strong, faithful.